Hello, BookTube. Well, that was indeed the mail that you heard in that last video. I was showing you this, the new NYRB classic, Diary of a Foreigner in Paris by Curzio Malaparte, an author I do not know well at all. Very happy to be on their list for reprints, but that was going to be it. And I was skulking in defeat because the author doesn't even have the good grace to be Irish. But that was the mail, and more packages were delivered, and they're all from publishers as far as I can tell. I don't think any of these are online purchases. So I will open these, and then I will just splice the two videos together. I don't know how to do that. So there's going to be two. It's going to be part one and a part two. Okay, so this first one, I had to destroy the paperwork because it's in one of these vacuum packed envelopes, which sticks to everything, which is very, very, very annoying. So you have to tear it apart because the envelope will stick to everything. It's adhesive on the inside. I don't know why an envelope wouldn't do. Oh no. Okay, we've already seen this. This is one of the paltry number of books that I've been getting. This is Naked in the Promised Land, a memoir by Lillian Faderman that was issued a while ago and is now being reissued in this lovely paperback by, who is this? Who does this? Bloomsbury. I have another copy of this, so I'll just put it on the pile. We can move straight on to the next one here. They're all gonna be these adhesive things here, but that's okay. Happy to be getting books in the mail. Like I was saying in that last video, I'm really hoping that these things start to trickle back. That people start to realize, okay, well, the worst of this is over. We now know the precautions. We can marginally get back to business. We can marginally get back to normal. I would love that. I'm not advocating that anybody rush out to do this. Certainly not on my behalf. I have plenty of books. But just in general, I would like this. I mean, there are split opinions on this whole protocol, on what protocol is right to follow. They're all, and we're all caught between experts. None of us are experts ourselves. So, I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, we have 3 packages to go through here. So the next one is something we've also seen on this channel. This is LifeChanging: How Humans Are Altering Life on Earth by Helen Pilcher. I believe we also saw, I think what we saw was a finished copy. I think this is yet another double. And that is the famous peppered moth on the cover. I got a lot of positive response from a lot of you. A lot of you like the sound of this. No cell sheet, because this just got sent from a warehouse. But let's see. For those of you who don't remember the last one, for the last 3 billion years or so, life on Earth was shaped by natural forces. Evolution tended to happen slowly, with species crafted across millennia. Then, a few 100,000 years ago, along comes a bolshy, big-brained, bipedal primate we now call Homo sapiens. And with that, the Earth's natural history came to an abrupt end. We are now living through the post-natural phase, where humans have become the leading force shaping evolution. This thought-provoking book considers the many ways that we've altered the DNA of living things and changed the fate of life on Earth. We have carved chihuahuas from wolves and fancy chickens from jungle fowl. We've added spider genes to goats and coral genes to tropical fish. It's possible to buy genetically modified pets, eat genetically modified salmon, and watch cloned ponies thunder up and down the polo field. And as you could, the author is a tea-drinking, biscuit-nibbling science and comedy writer with a PhD in cell biology. And I haven't got to this. The only melancholy difference between this hardcover and the last one is that the last one had a shell sheet in it, I believe. I think this is a May book. I'll have to check and see. I'll have to double check, actually, because even if the cell sheet said May, it might not be. I've had a number of changes happen like that. No way to avoid it. But let's see what this next one is. I really hope it's not another double, because that would be very anticlimactic, but I'm getting hardly any mail at all for there to be doubles. That would be rotten. I mean, good in a way, because it shows there's life. It's a signal of life, but even so. Oh no, it's a double. Okay, it's another double. This is that Richard Bradford George Orwell biography, a man of our time. A thin thing for an Orwell life. Okay, this is another double. All right, well, this is a late double because the last one I got didn't have a cell sheet either. One of the most enduringly popular and controversial writers of the 20th century. George Orwell's work is as irrelevant today as it was in his own lifetime. Possibly in the age of Brexit, Trump, and populism, even more so. Doublethink features in 1984, and it is the forerunner to fake news. Orwell foresaw the creation of the EU, and more significantly, he predicted the post-imperial xenophobia would cause Britain to leave it. His struggle with his own anti-Semitism could serve as a lesson to today's Labour Party, and while the Soviet Union is gone, China has taken its place as a totalitarian superpower. Now, that is the publicist for this book doing their level best to nudge a reviewer with ideas for an angle that you could take in reviewing yet another George Orwell biography. That first paragraph is nudging the reviewer. Here are some things that are very topical that you could hook your review on that might make sense to talk about this book, and I'm hoping that no reviewer falls for it. Because it's random chance that this book happens now, and the fact that the book happens now isn't going to be any defense of it in 100 years. I'm hoping that people who review this thing review it on its merits. I'm really hoping that ends up being true. We shall see. But that is our mail. These are part 1 and part 2. I'll put them in the title. So we have a double of Orwell, a double of LifeChanging, about how humans have created the Anthropocene, a double of Naked in the Promised Land, a memoir that's getting a reprint, and a diary of a Foreigner in Paris, the latest, a May release from the New York Review of Books Classics. I don't know, some of you might collect them. They have fervent fans. And I'm a fan too, although it's amazing to me how seldom their editorial voices coincide with my own. It virtually never happens. Vasily Grossman, Elizabeth Hardwick, but hardly anything else. It's amazing. They find one neglected or footnoted classic after another and reprint them. And every single time it's, okay, all right, I read that, and okay. So, in a way, I should consider that a good thing. Because it's very healthy for the publishing world and for the reading world and for the critical world to have all those different voices, to have all sorts of different people who aren't selling out, who aren't being lazy, and who just genuinely and seriously like completely different things. So maybe this will win me over. Maybe I will end up liking it. But anyway, that is part 1 and part 2 of the day's mail. Not so bad quantity-wise, although they're all doubles except for one, so we'll hope for better tomorrow. At least the streak genuinely continues. At least I wasn't limping across the finish line. 4 books is good, so we'll hope for just the same tomorrow. So I will wrap this up, and I will see you then. Thank you, BookTube.